It's that time of year, so we're going to show you a really simple way, maybe a few different ways, to fold some dumplings. A simple force meat, and then maybe a couple different dipping sauces. What do you say? Let's do it. Start by peeling your shrimp. I don't like the flavor of shrimp that are too small, but you don't need to waste your money on really big ones. These are 20-30 count. You can just start by peeling on the leg side, cracking that collar, and then just pulling the tail right off. Clean your shrimp. Your secondary move is going to be just to run a little line with your knife to make sure that there's no vein in there that's filled with bitter food. Anything that you see in this tract, just remove it. And the reason you want to remove that is that I like to buy wild caught shrimp. So you can see right there on my finger, there's that thin line. And so we just need to remove this piece right here. So you just want to clean your shrimp, peel them, devein them, and then they're ready to process. Okay, so let's make our filling. All those cleaned shrimp, I like to pulse them in the food processor. And then be very, very aware. You got to spread it out again and pulse it one more time. And there we go. These are garlic chives. If you have an Asian market, they will have them. I love to saute them. I love to mince them fine and put them into dumplings, as I'm going to do here. And just very thin slices. I don't know, that's about 1/3 of a cup, something like that. These little babies. And then I like scallions too, because they're a whole different flavor. I'm gonna add about the same amount of scallion. I'm gonna put some ginger. I'm just gonna trim up a piece about a golf ball size. I'm gonna add just like a teaspoon of sesame oil, a teaspoon of soy sauce. Yes, I'm gonna add a little salt, white pepper. To this pound of shrimp, seasoned with all of these goodies, I'm going to add about 8 ounces of pork. I sometimes make ice cubes out of chicken broth or shellfish broth or whatever, just to, if I need it for things, and I would certainly use that here, but I'm gonna put an ice cube or 2 in and start stirring until it's melted. And I'm only gonna stir in one direction. I'm gonna try to elongate the protein strands in here by only stirring in one direction. And I am going to emulsify by I'm gonna emulsify the fat from the pork using the ice. It's a little chef's trick, and what it does is it gives an incredible texture and mouthfeel. No joke, 3 ice cubes. But I'm just going clockwise. And once this gets incorporated, we'll be able to move a lot faster. Boy, is that smelling good. Can you do this in a standing mixer? Yes, you can. But just use the paddle attachment. Don't use the whisk attachment. All the force meat is gonna stay in there. Okay, let's make some wontons. Damp towel over about a stack of 15, 16 sheets. I always put a little water in a square. Remember, the only mistake that you can make when making any type of filled ravioli, crepe block, you name it, anything that's filled is overfilling. This is a very simple triangular shape. You can bring those sides together and go with a more traditional right? Come up to the corner, seal one side. I have a wet finger so I can push all of that air out. And give that a little squeeze. But maybe you've seen this one. Someone just smears a line across like this. And I have to tell you, this has become one of my favorite shapes to make. This is the easiest shape to make. It has lots of filling. They cook quickly. And I made them for the first time this way because, of course, I was a doubting Thomas. I didn't believe it. It's not really gonna be that much easier and fun. But yeah, nothing falls out. The inside doesn't get wet. It's really, really quite something. So I just put those into boiling water. Within seconds, they float. Every brand, I swear, is different. So I would encourage you, if you're not a long-time dumpling maker, to put one in and test it. See how long it takes to float. See how long it takes for the noodle part, the skin, to get tender. Obviously, I'm just doing this for you and I right now, but typically I use a much bigger pot and I will make 50, 60 of them. I also have a bag in my freezer of ones that I freeze uncooked. So the first sauce is very simple. This is my homemade chili oil, and I'm just gonna put a tablespoon or so of that. It's very strong, to which I'm going to add some really good soy sauce from the Mala market. I put about tablespoon and a half. This is what makes it. This is Chinese black vinegar. It's Baoning vinegar. It's aged 10 years. It's not expensive. I order it from the Mala market. It's just beautiful and well-rounded and gorgeous. And I add about, a teaspoon. So it just got that beautiful balance of a traditional dipping sauce for dumplings. So that's the first one. Second one starts out basically the same way. Take a little bit of my chili crisp. I usually go down to the bottom and just try to get some of those solids that are down there. A little bit of the Baoning soy sauce, a little bit of sugar. And here's where it gets super, super fun. We're gonna add a little bit of peanut butter. And that is just beautiful. And these two sauces kind of riff off of each other. And then the third one is something that's more similar to a lot of Thai and Vietnamese sauces. The first thing that I want to do is just sort of a bunch of scallions, put that into my mixing cup, and I use the entire bunch. I have a Thai red chili, shallots. I'm gonna do the same thing with a piece of ginger. About a tablespoon or so of fish sauce, a little drip of sesame oil, juice of half a lime if they're juicy. I usually try to match the amount of fish sauce with lime juice. An entire bunch of cilantro. So you can buy palm sugar in jars, or you can buy palm sugar that is in discs, and sometimes I don't need a whole one, I just need a half of one. So this is about a tablespoon or two of palm sugar, and I'm just gonna chip away, and I'm gonna add a tablespoon or two of warm water just to dissolve it a little bit so that my stick blender doesn't have to work too hard. A little bit of garlic, and just like the ginger, slice that up, you guessed it. So I have really hot water comes out of my faucet. You could always pulse yours in the microwave for a second or two, but you just swirl it around, it kind of dissolves that palm sugar. Okay, so I've got my mixing cup that has my cilantro and garlic and ginger and my shallots, scallions, the fabulous palm sugar, my hot chili, little fish sauce, little lime juice, and now we're gonna turn it into a very chunky vegetable sauce. And this sauce is just fabulous. Okay, let's just garnish with a little bit of scallion, a more traditional shape, something you may not have seen before. And I encourage you to try all kinds of different shaped dumplings and wontons because they are so simple and so snackably delicious. Well, most importantly, how do these taste? This is that wonderful peanut enriched sauce. I could eat 1,000 of these. Here's the traditional. I think I'll try one of these in that cilantro. Comfort food of the finest order.